Ryan Clark knew early on that his mission would be to serve the country.
He was very young, I'd say around 5. He talked military.
Just like any Army parent, Tracy worried about her son in Afghanistan.
The tears would come. We knew he was in harm's way.
The New London, Minnesota soldier was deployed in Operation Enduring Freedom.
One of the last times I talked to him, he had said, "I am where I need to be." I thought, wow, you need to come home. But he said he was enjoying what he was doing.
Above her heart, she wears a gold star pin, worn by mothers who lost a child in battle. Since Ryan's funeral, Tracy and her husband Rick attend events honoring fallen soldiers.
Soldiers that I've met with in this time, if they don't know you, they don't talk about their war stories, and this guy was just too open on it.
The couple met this man, Richard Arthur Ron. A newspaper photo captured Ron marching in Command Sergeant Major's dress blues. A closer look shows the highly decorated Ranger Tap, Bronze Star, and Purple Heart.
It was just one of them gut feelings, this guy's a phony.
They weren't the only ones that thought Ron wasn't the high-ranking soldier he portrayed.
Struck a chord with a lot of people in our community, a very emotional subject. We received a lot of phone calls.
Wilmer's police chief, James Felt, launched an investigation into Ron.
Do you understand each of the rights I've explained to you?
Yes.
Okay. At this time, do you wish to speak with me?
5 Eyewitness News obtained this police recording after Ron was picked up. Seconds after questioning began, Ron shut it down.
I think I'm going to request an attorney.
Fair enough.
With his silence, a police report shines some light into the holes in Ron's high-ranking military tale. The woman who sewed Ron's uniform said she thought it was odd that someone who made the rank of Sergeant Major did not know where the patches on his uniforms needed to be placed.
It is frustrating, but it was the constraints that we had to work with.
The chief couldn't nail Ron for breaking the newly changed Federal Stolen Valor Act because he didn't financially benefit from the scheme. In a minute, I'll tell you how Ron ended up getting a new uniform.
We have a very patriotic family, so it was kind of a patriotism thing.
That's what drives Army Staff Sergeant Anthony Anderson's hobby.
In a way, I'm protecting their legacy.
We went to his South Carolina home where he runs Guardian of Valor, a website that investigates allegations of possible fake veterans.
If we're not 110% sure that these people, stole valor or lied or stole money from the VA, then they never get posted.
He's handled thousands of cases with more than 6,000 requests for help in the queue.
A lot of soldiers have laid down their lives, and to have somebody, come out and pretend to have given that when they haven't sacrificed, it's just a slap in the face.
Back in Wilmer, police weren't done with Ron. It turns out he wasn't a high-ranking military man after all, but a felon. This search warrant shows he had a gun, which led to a felon with gun conviction. Ron got a new uniform, one he earned, that of a prisoner.
Son died for this guy can actually be an imposter.
And that's gonna make you shake your head.
It does, why?
Kind of makes you sick.
The Minneapolis Fire Department is taking on a dirty, disturbing job. Picking up discarded, used hypodermic needles around the city.
I think last year we might have gotten 5 calls, and we've gotten probably at least 50 this year already.
Assistant Chief of Administration Brian Tyner says the calls have increased tenfold over the past year. He believes part of it could be a symptom of the growing opioid crisis.
It really means that people are being careless with their needles. This is really a public danger. If a person were to poke themselves or reuse this needle, they could possibly contact or pass on diseases.
And the calls are coming from all over the city, from the bundle of needles reported along this sidewalk off 3rd Avenue South to the ones that were found scattered near the Midtown Greenway a few days later, a few miles away. In fact, while we were out shooting video for this story, we found not one, but 2 tossed on this sidewalk above the bike path, while people, including kids, walked right by. So we placed our own call to the Minneapolis Fire Department, and a crew arrived to dispose of the needles. A dirty, thankless job. And unfortunately, as one bicyclist tells us, a job that is getting bigger by the day.
It is disgusting, and it gets dirty.
Today's Monday, last day of the fair.
Oh, we're here to have fun. We're here to see the cows. We want to see the big, what was it, that big fat pig that we love to watch? Thank you. Have a great day at the fair.
It's the end of the show.
rowing contest. He's been doing lots of workouts, so he's ready to go.
Nice big one. Nice big one. Most crows in 30 minutes. Come on, you can get up to 30. Yeah.
I've never seen so many roosters in all my life.
You can win. Come on.
And taking his time. It's kind of like Muhammad Ali, a little bit of rope-a-dope. He's trying to play the action, but I think he's got a chance. I feel good about it.
1 minute.
109 crows in 60 minutes. We feel really good. We're going to come back next year to defend the title, but there's a lot of great birds out here. Great time at the Minnesota State Fair. Come down and join us sometime on Labor Day. It's awesome. So yeah, so we'll see you next year. Goodbye.
Upstream on Mississippi.
Ryan Jastrom works on the river.
I am collecting the water quality sample.
So do Brittany Faust
The water temperature is around 8.6.
and Uday Singh.
I'm a water scientist, so I'm an outdoor guy.
They're with the Mississippi Watershed Management Organization.
80 centimeters.
The group monitors the health of the river and the wetlands and lakes in a 40-square-mile area around it, from Fridley to St. Paul.
We protect and improve water quality.
Doug Snyder is executive director.
Is the river healthier now than it was 10 years ago?
The trend has generally been in the right direction.
The most alarming things they find in the water are silt from riverbank erosion, animal waste, road salt, and the stuff we put on our lawns.
What most people don't realize is you could live miles away from the Mississippi River, but if your grass clippings or fertilizer end up in the storm sewer here, it only takes a couple of hours for it to come out here and going right into the water.
Because most of the water getting to the river in our watershed comes through a pipe, we do a lot of work in pipes.
Ryan took us inside one of the many storm pipes that empty into the river.
The AV sensor is mounted right here.
He checks equipment that takes measurements and samples of water. It's dangerous and special training is required, but it's also fascinating and a little claustrophobic. These scientists say we are lucky to have the great river in our backyard.
The water quality of a river or a stream or a lake directly relate to the quality of life we enjoy here in Twin Cities.
They don't take the Mississippi for granted, and neither should we. Kevin